Hey guys, what's up? It's G. I am back now with my second video. So today I wanted to talk about being a single mom and being a mom at such a young age. In my last video, I talked about how I am a single mother at 19 and my daughter is a year old, so I had found out I was pregnant at 17, still in high school, still being a kid. And yeah, I had somebody say that I should talk about how I found out I was pregnant and everybody's reaction to the news, and I was like, maybe that's a good idea. There's a lot of young girls out there who are getting pregnant at such a young age and they don't really know what to do, don't really know how to react. So let's get into this. So finding out I was pregnant. Being 17, I had a lot going for me. I had a whole career set out. The summer just before I had found out I was pregnant, I had actually just gone to New York for my modeling, where I was offered a huge scholarship to the New York Film Academy. So, summer after my senior year, I was going to be moving to Los Angeles and going to college. Well, everything kind of got put on hold. A few days after Christmas, I had been feeling really off, really weird. It was actually right before Christmas too. I had felt not sick, but just not like myself, which is really weird to explain because how do you put into words that I don't feel like me? I remember the day after Christmas, I ended up having a few people over, and at the time my ex-boyfriend, he had gotten a virtual reality set for a present, and everybody came over, we're all messing around playing with that. And at one point I ended up getting like super duper anxious, and I don't know why. I don't normally just get anxious out of nowhere. And I got really mad and I started kicking everybody out of my room. I'm like, no, everybody get out, get out, get out. I don't want anybody in here. I'm losing my mind. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Why am I acting like this? So I calm down. I go downstairs with everybody and I'm just laying there. Now, while I was upstairs by myself, I'm starting to think, what's wrong? What is going on with me? So I get to thinking, it's been a little while since I had gotten my period. Things have been kind of funny with me. I haven't been feeling the best. Maybe there is a chance I'm pregnant. Now, there's a part of me that's going, no, you're not pregnant, shut up, stop. You're overreacting, you're freaking yourself out, you're not pregnant. Then I have the other part of me that's like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a baby. And what do I do? So I decide to keep it to myself for at least another day before I go to my best friend. So 2 days has passed now, and I finally decide, okay, you know what? Let's just find out, am I pregnant or not? I go to my best friend Sam, and I'm talking to her about it because she had spent the night with me, and at this point in time, we're both 17. Sam had just gotten her license, but she didn't have a car. I did not have a license and I did not have a car. So I make her walk to Walmart with me. Keep in mind, it's December. It's cold out. We're freezing our butts off walking to Walmart. Now, it's not super far from my house, but it's still quite a journey. But her being awesome goes with me, and we go and get a box of pregnancy tests. I'd also texted my boyfriend at the time saying, you know what, I think I could be. I'm gonna take a test and I'll let you know what it says. So we get home and I'm telling Sam, I'm not gonna take the test till tomorrow. I kept looking it up. Everybody said, wait until the morning. Your pee is more concentrated then. And I know it's kind of a TMI, but did you really think you were gonna hear about me being pregnant and not have to hear about me peeing on a stick? 'Cause you're wrong. So after I said that, about half an hour later, I go, you know what? I can't do it. I gotta find out. I run upstairs and I go and take a test. Now, most women, when you see it in the movies or the shows, they take the pregnancy test, they leave it on the counter, they flip it over, they're not gonna look at it until time is done. Well, I couldn't, so I go to the bathroom, I'm holding the test in my hand, and I had a first response test, so when it's like doing its thing, it like slowly starts going across the screen, and it like slowly starts to reveal the lines. Now, I'm sitting here shaking, I'm holding the test like this, and I'm just like, oh God, you know, it's gonna come out negative. I know I just spent a lot of money, but it's, you know, better safe than sorry. So I see one line show up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, cool, it's negative. I watch it for like 5 more seconds, and I start to see the faintest second line. And now a faint positive is still a positive. It means my body detected the pregnancy hormone. So, I'm pregnant. Finding out you're pregnant, to most women, they're trying, they're excited, they're jumping up and down, they're like, how am I gonna surprise my husband, my boyfriend, whoever it is, that I'm pregnant? I'm gonna put a bun in the oven like he did. I'm gonna, you know, write it on a onesie, give it to him as a present. Me, I'm gonna call my boyfriend and I'm gonna tell him, hey, I know we're young, but we're having a baby. So I run downstairs and I'm already shaking, I'm already crying a bit, and I go to Sam and I'm like, it's positive. I'm pregnant. And her being such a good friend just goes, it's gonna be okay. Whatever it is you want to do, it's gonna be okay. I'm here for you. I promise it's gonna be fine. Now, are you going to call him? I go, yeah, but keep in mind now it's about midnight, and even though it was Christmas break, calling someone at midnight, really not a solid plan, but I couldn't keep it to myself, so I text him and I go, can I call you? He goes, why? I'm like, because you know why I'm trying to call you right now? I just told you I was taking the test. Answer your phone. No, he doesn't want to answer it. My parents are sleeping. I don't want to wake them up. And I'm like, I get that, because do you know how awkward it would be talking to your girlfriend and you go, yeah, babe, I don't know. What do you want to do with the baby? And your parents walk in and everybody's just not something great to think about. But I don't care. I'm freaking out. I'm like, let's tell the entire freaking family. I just want to talk to you. So he lets me call him, and I go, I took the test, and he goes, what is it? And I was like, if it was negative, don't you think I would have just texted you with like a lot of balloons and stuff? No, I'm pregnant. And he goes, well, what are we gonna do? I had already been thinking, what am I gonna do? But it's not a solid plan yet. And he goes, what are we gonna do? Like, I'm supposed to have all the answers. Like, I called you so we could talk about this. He goes, we'll talk about it later. I'm like, okay, come over tomorrow. We're gonna talk about this. We hang up and go back inside because I'm standing outside talking to him and I'm freezing my ass off. So I go inside and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Now, the next morning, I wake up and I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking. I get so fed up with myself that I go and take another test just to be sure. And what made me like really angry was I go and take the test and the line had gotten the slightest bit darker on the second pregnancy test. And I was like, you know, I was hoping for a false positive because, you know, it was very faint. Maybe it was just a faulty test. No. It got a little darker. I lost my mind. So I have my boyfriend come over and we start talking, and he thinks that I'm gonna get an abortion. Now, when I say he thinks that, I'm not saying he tried forcing me into getting an abortion. It was just, I think that's what's best. We're both so young. And I'm like, yeah, what's best was probably us not having unprotected sex. But we did. And now we're having a baby. So I start telling him, you know, maybe it is best to get an abortion. But I kept getting sick every time I heard that word. I kept getting sick every time I said it out loud or thought it to myself, because I had started thinking, okay, in just a few months I'm gonna be holding a baby. And adoption was never an option for me. Adoption option. I'm actually the most awkward person, oh my gosh. Adoption was not an option. Now, you just heard somebody in the background. That's my best friend. I told her to sit down and shut up. Now she's talking. Now she's talking. That's actually Sam, the one who found out I was pregnant first. So I tried convincing Sam to come in and say hi. She wouldn't, but if you look closely, you can see her coat in the background because she got up and she took it off. And now she's gone. So back to the story. So adoption just was not an option for me. I didn't want to, you know, have a baby and have to live with knowing my baby is with other people living on the same earth as me. And while she could have been, well, at this time I didn't know I was having a girl. While my baby could have been off living an absolutely amazing life, my life would have started to be terrible, because now I want to meet them, I want to be a mom to them. So it was either abortion or it was keep my baby. Now, we all know how this is going to end, because you don't say you're a single mom if you don't have a baby. So after we sit down and talk about it for a while, I tell him it's not a for sure answer yet, but I want to keep the baby. Abortion keeps making me sick. I was like, but give me a little while and I'm going to keep thinking about it. So this is not a solid answer. Give it a few days. I finally decide, no, you know what? I'm keeping this baby. And while he wasn't the happiest about it, because, you know, he's just as young as I am. I mean, he's 18 at this point. I'm 17. He's just as young as I am. He's not ready to be a dad. I'm not ready to be a mom. But I gave him an out. I said, if you really, really, really don't want to have a baby, I'll make up an elaborate story to my parents. I'll say I cheated on you or something, and that, you know, I don't know who the dad is. And you can walk off perfectly fine. And plus then you'll have a reason to be mad at me. And my parents will get that you don't want to be around me. But he said, no, my baby is not going to grow up without a father. And let me tell you, I respected the hell out of him for it, and I still do, because that's a pretty grown-up decision, and I still say, good for him. He's a great dad. Yeah, so I'm keeping my baby. So, give it a few days. I decide it's time to tell my mom. Now, my mom is my absolute best friend in the entire world. I can go to her about absolutely anything, and she gets it. She'll be there for me. She had told me before, you know, if something like this were to ever happen, do not hide it from me. You come and talk to me. We will go get you what you need, whatever it may be. But I will be there, and I will hold your hand, and I will support you. I love my mom. She's an absolute blessing. So, the worst part about this is I'm an awful person. A few days before actually like about a week before Christmas, I was telling my mom, you know, I kind of want to go to Spencer's and get one of those fake pregnancy tests and wrap it up and give it to my dad for Christmas and just ruin his holiday. Don't ask me why I wanted to do that. I mean, who wants to ruin their dad's holiday by going, and guess what, I'm pregnant? Nobody. Wow, that makes me sound so bad. But I didn't. And I feel like because I said that, that was my karma, even though I'd already been pregnant for 3 weeks. So when I go and tell my mom, I go, Mom, I need to talk to you about something. And she goes, what is it? What's up, babe? And I'm like, I'm pregnant. And she goes, no, you're not. She's like, give me the fake pregnancy test. Come on. She's like, you were just telling me how you were going to do this to your dad. And I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, I was an idiot. Because I'd forgotten about it at that point. Like, I forgot I was going to prank people. Nope. I tried. I wanted to. Really mean. Should never joke about a pregnancy. This happens. You have a baby. But I go on and I'm like, Mom, I'm being so serious. I found out just a few days ago. I was like, and I don't know what to do. And she's still not believing me. And I'm like, Mom, I promise you, I'm pregnant. I am being so honest with you. Please just believe me. I'm already scared. You're making this so much worse. Just, listen. I think after a few minutes, she could see how worked up I was getting and how upset I really was. And she's like, oh my God. Now, my parents, they already have 3 other grandkids from my brother and sister who are a lot older than me, who could plan a family, no problem. So they already have 3 grandkids. It's not like, hey Mom, you're gonna be a grandma. She already was. But she goes, what are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. I'm leaning towards keeping it. I was like, but part of me thinks maybe abortion is the way to go. I have my career. I have so many things to work on, so many things to do. I have my life to live. And my mom goes, all right, whatever you want. She goes, did you tell your dad? And I'm like, do you really think I told Dad already? He wouldn't be okay. I mean, she saw him just the night before. If he would have known, he would not be talking to me. He wouldn't look at me, nothing. And that's actually very true. That is what he did. So she goes, well, we need to tell your dad. And I'm freaking out. I'm like, Mom, no, we can't tell Dad. I was like, let's just tell him after I have the baby. I'm scared. He's gonna yell at me. Nope. She goes, we're telling your dad. I'm like, all right, fine. On my terms, though. I'll tell him when I'm ready. She goes, we're not waiting forever, but fine. Now, telling my dad, oh, no, just no. So, give it about a week, and I finally say, I think it's time to tell my dad. My mom goes, good idea. Well, my mom totally throws me under the bus with this. She goes, come on, let's go tell him. I'm like, no, let's go tell him. No. Georgia, come on, let's go tell him. No. She drags me upstairs. So we're sitting in my dad's room, well, their room, and my mom turns the TV off. My dad goes, what's up? She goes, David, Georgia has to tell you something. I'm looking at her like, I'm already crying. I'm just, Georgia, go ahead. Georgia, tell your dad. My dad's already like, what? What's going on? I'm just, no. My mom goes, Georgia's pregnant. And then I lose it. My sanity flew out the window. I start bawling my eyes out and losing my mind. My dad goes, what? Georgia? And I'm like, no. And my mom's like, she's pregnant. And then my dad, sitting there for a few minutes, And then he explodes. He's like, what do you mean you're pregnant? He's like, what are you gonna do? He's like, you're getting an abortion, right? Now, me and my dad also have super duper close relationship. And he wasn't saying get an abortion because don't have a baby. It was get an abortion because you have your life ahead of you. You are 17. You are not ready to be a mom. You are so young. My dad's always been the really logical one, the very wise old man. That's what I tell people. He's a wise old man. So, he's the one saying get an abortion, do it, think about yourself. Now, my dad is not a selfish man, not by any means, but he does want what's best for me. And at that point, he said having a baby was not what was best for me. Little did he know that she was actually going to change my entire world. 2 weeks have passed now. My dad is not talking to me. He won't look at me, and every time he does, he just goes, because he's so mad. And, well, not even, he's disappointed. And I know how everybody's parents go, I'm not mad, I'm just really disappointed. And I hate that. I have no problem making my parents mad. They can get mad at me all they want to, but never say you're disappointed. Like, I would rather them be so furious at me than ever be disappointed. I love making them proud. I love making them happy. I'm kind of a kiss ass. But he's so disappointed. I finally am starting to become okay with finding out I'm pregnant. Starting to really think about what am I gonna do now? Because now I am keeping my baby, 100% doing it. Now it's funny because it still hadn't really hit me that I was pregnant. It was just like I had a positive pregnancy test, but I didn't feel pregnant. I didn't look pregnant, obviously. Nothing really felt like it had changed. Like, not even my mind, really. I was just more like, yeah, okay, whatever. Went on with my life. But it was hard because when I went back to school, it was, now what am I gonna do about school? Going into high school, there's a lot of things going through your mind of, what are people gonna say about me? What do people think of me? It's really the years where you start to develop as a person, where you're trying to shape yourself, and a lot of people are, I want to be a people pleaser, I want people to like me, so I'm going to do a lot of things so people will like me. Me, I kind of fell under that category like the first 2 years of high school. Now I'm a senior, I'm like, I helped rule this place. I didn't actually think like that, not at all, but I didn't want people to know. I didn't want people to start slut-shaming me for being pregnant. And now at my school, we had a nursery. There was like a nursery area in the school, so there's 2 other high school, well, actually there's more. 4 high schools? Yeah, I think there's 4 high schools where I live. 5. There's a lot of high schools where I live. So my school is the one that had the nursery, so girls who, if they did get pregnant, they would transfer to my high school, so then their babies could be in the nursery and they could go to school, they get to leave their classes at given times to help feed their baby, see their baby, take care of their baby, all while getting an education. It's really a good idea. A lot of schools should have that. So then moms don't have the pressure of, now I gotta drop out of high school, I gotta be done with high school. Me, on the other hand, I decided to take my tap-out test and just get my GED because I was under a lot of stress. My modeling career, it's done, it's over with. I'm gonna get bullied. I'm not ready to take on the responsibility of being a mom and being ridiculed for it. So I took my tap-out test about a month after I found out I was pregnant. I didn't really announce to a bunch of people that I was pregnant. I wanted to keep it to myself. But I told a very small few? I told a select few of people, and suddenly I'm hearing rumors about myself. I'm hearing how my baby daddy is not my baby daddy, how I am cheating on him. Now, he was my boyfriend of 4 months when I got pregnant, but I'd known him for a long time. But anyone who knows me knows I'm not a cheater. I hate cheating. I think it's disgusting. I think it's terrible. So that's not me. I wouldn't do that. Comes to find out, people were saying my ex-boyfriend had made up that rumor. Now, I don't know if he did or not. He could have, he might not have. I'm not really trying to relive the past. I don't care. But at the time, I'm like, my life is over. Oh my god, I'm having a baby. Now people think I'm a slut. People think that this isn't even his baby. Oh my god, what am I gonna do? Well, then I'm sitting in class and I get a phone call. Georgia, can you go to the dean's office? I go into my dean's office and my dean goes, Georgia, I've been hearing some things about you. And I'm like what? That I'm pregnant? Did you hear about that? It was like, people don't have anything else to talk about in their lives. They have to talk about me being pregnant. Yeah, I'm pregnant. What's up? Now, in high school, I did always kind of have a bad attitude. I don't know why, but I was not being nice to my dean. I was so mad. I'm like, one, you're calling me out of class to come talk to you about being pregnant when I have a family at home. I have friends. I have a lot of people I could go and talk to. I don't need to talk to my high school dean about my body, about my life. And he goes, well, he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, dude, I don't want to talk to you about this. But at my school, they were very pushy. But the one thing they never took care of is kids getting bullied. It was, oh, oof, that sucks. But I feel like a lot of my high school is, let's gossip about the other students. And I hated that. I hated that so much. Because they were always in your lives. No, leave me alone. So I just go on and tell them, I'm like, yeah, I told a few people. I told my other best friend who goes to a different high school. And then I told Sam and Sarah. Well, then I go back to class after talking to him for a bit. He calls Sam and Sarah into his office and asks them, what's going on? Are people spreading rumors about Georgia? Now, in high school, I had seen the dean a few times. Quite a few times. I was not the greatest student. Them, on the other hand, really good students, really cared about the grades, all that. Did not know where the dean's office was. Never been to the dean's office. Good students. So they thought they were in trouble, but then they started talking about me, and I'm like, wow, I'm sorry that you guys have to get pulled out of your classroom to go talk about me. That's really stupid. But they go, we wouldn't tell anybody about that, and it's true. So I don't know if somebody had ended up overhearing me talk to them about it, because I got a really big mouth. I'm a very loud mouth. I could see somebody overhearing me talk to them about it. So, good amount of people at my school. No. Now, second semester rolls around. It's the first day. I get a call from the dean's office again. Different dean now, because my school also had like 9 deans. Don't know why. It's the attendance dean, and she's the one who gave me my test for my GED. She calls me to her office, and she goes, good job, you passed. She's like, you can go home now if you want to. Text my parents. Okay, I'm done. I can leave. No, stay for the rest of the day. Okay. So, first day of first semester, I'm meeting all these new teachers. It's my new classes, and I'm just like, I'm not really gonna participate. I'm not gonna be here tomorrow or for the rest of the year. But I go on with it. Give it about a month now, and I have my first ultrasound, which is really exciting. I go and get my ultrasound done, and it's amazing. I got to see my baby for the first time. I got to hear their heartbeat. And that night I go, I'm gonna clear up all the rumors. And I post a picture of my ultrasound, and I said something along the lines of, as people have heard, I'm pregnant. Yes, it's true. Here's my baby's first sonogram. And it was crazy. The amount of respect and positivity I got from people just blew me away. I actually cried for a while because I was like, wow, I really thought people were going to be so mean to me. And while yes, there was a lot of judgment over the course of my pregnancy, there was a lot of mean things said about me. It was knowing that I had a whole group of people who were just, you got this, you're going to do great. That really helped me believe that, you know what, maybe I can do this. I'm going to be phenomenal. And so far, I think I'm doing a pretty A-okay job. Now, not to get into like birth or anything like that, because that's a moment where it's just really special. I don't want to talk about giving birth. But finally holding my baby in my arms, it was beautiful. It was great. I really felt the deepest connection, and I love her more than anything. She is the absolute light of my life, and deciding to keep her was the best decision I could have ever made. She really is the light of my life. And I know you guys won't be able to actually read it, but because, you know, it's backwards. I have winter and a semicolon tattooed onto my wrist. Semicolons, you know, they're supposed to finish a sentence, but not a thought. And I've always really thought that was beautiful. So I got winter tattooed in front of the semicolon because while I had my little girl, it's not the end of my life. There's greater, better things to come. So my life is not over because I had a baby. My life is honestly just beginning. And now I have somebody to share that with forever. And that's all I really need. I love being a mom. Alright, before I wrap up this video, I wanted to bring in my sweet baby girl. This is my little Winter Rose. I know she still has a nook in her mouth. She's a year old. She won't give it up. I'm trying so hard. But I thought it would be nice for everybody to meet my baby. You say hi? Say hi. You're just amazed by the phone, aren't you? Yeah. So before I say bye, here she is. Now, thank you guys all for watching this and hearing me go on and on and on. My next video, I have decided why not bring some friends in and meet them, see how weird all of us are together. And yeah, before I do go, I wanted to shout out my friend Trey. He is the one who's actually been editing the videos, the one who really helped me get into deciding to vlog. He's also doing videos, he's doing gaming, and soon we're gonna all be starting up our own group channel, so you guys should all go check those out. Trey's YouTube channel is CamCam. It is C-A-M-B and then repeated. So, you know, go check him out, give him a few likes, subscribe to him. He's really funny, really good guy. You'll love his videos. A lot of Fortnite. A lot of people like that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys pretty soon. Say bye! Bye! Thanks, guys.